Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, April 15th. It is 5 past 10 here in Phoenix. We're going live. As always, we're going to try to catch up on everything going on and hopefully take a few of your questions. So stay tuned. What's up, everybody? It's Greg Corbett with the AZ Lifestyle Group right here in Phoenix, Arizona. If this is your first time to this channel and you're looking to find out everything you need to know about what it's like living in and or moving to the Phoenix metro area, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you can be notified whenever we post a new video. We're helping people from all over when it comes to finding the best places and neighborhoods to live here, and we absolutely love it. So if you're even thinking about making a move and you need any assistance whatsoever, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email. However you want to get a hold of us, we got your back when it comes to moving to the Phoenix Metro. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our good friend and partner, Rudy, with Prime Lending. Rudy, good morning, sir. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Another crazy week as usual, but getting through it. Always enjoy our times where we can stop for a second and connect and just take a moment to help some people out or watching.
Yeah, and it's something that the more and more, the crazier and crazier the market's been getting, the more and more people need our help. So, I just love the fact that so many people are reaching out to us just for advice. Sometimes people just want some advice and they're not necessarily looking to buy. They just want to talk to someone here, who's got boots on the ground here. And, we're happy to do that for anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's craziness going on throughout the country right now. And so people who are coming in from other states, maybe they're going through the same thing as well. But it's hard to keep track of. I know we do it on our on a daily basis here, just because that's what we need to do to kind of inform people. But not everybody knows what's going on here in Arizona. It's what why we do this channel. It's obviously to showcase some of the areas, neighborhoods, that type of thing, but also to kind of give you an update on what's happening, just so you're prepared when you come down here. So. It starts to sound like a broken record for those of you who watch this a lot of times. It feels like it for us too, as far as what's going on market-wise. But we got to do it because we know that there's somebody new watching each week.
Yeah, and with the summertime coming, there could be the possibility of more homes becoming available, more people becoming more comfortable with the COVID cases dropping, vaccines being more effective, just being able to feel more comfortable letting people come in their houses. So, we might be entering a time here in the summertime where there could be some availability. You don't know because it's just been such an unpredictable last 12, 13, 14 months. So it's hard to have a somewhat reliable crystal ball, but we're hopeful that maybe that can help. And then with rates starting to kind of inch up a little bit more than they were 6-7 months ago, it could maybe slow down some buyers to hopefully help alleviate some of this supply shortage. But it's not going to slow down. It's not going to slow down dramatically to where you're just going to see prices stop increasing the way they have been. We'll just see.
It's probably a case-by-case basis, and I'll go through a few examples. We'll bring up the Cromford as we have over the last few weeks because there's so much good information on there that kind of shows you a little bit of the chaos of what's going on. But we want to paint a picture of not only some of the craziness, but also give you some hope too, because not every single situation is like that. It's not going to be like every single house that is listed is going to be bid up 50 to 100K. That's not happening. But there are some that still are. So depending on where you are location-wise and what is coming with the house, it could be. But I do want to talk. I mean, we're in the middle of April here. We've had. I like to talk about what's going on positive-wise too, because for anybody that's coming in, especially this month, it's been a beautiful month weather-wise. We've had amazing, mostly like higher 80s into the lower 90s, that type of thing. That hits in the mid-afternoon, but our mornings and evenings have been fantastic. We've got a couple people here in town looking around right now, and I think it still makes a pretty good sales pitch when you're checking it out.
Right now it does, yeah. So we'll see come May, June, July, but But I think we're all in the same boat that we kind of already understand and expect the summer to be brutal here. But
Yeah.
right now it's beautiful. Yeah, the evening times, to your point, the evenings are just absolutely gorgeous.
We drop into probably the mid 60s in the evenings to cool everything down.
Yeah.
We can open our windows a little bit at night in the morning to kind of not have to go too crazy on the AC. So some people probably don't even have to turn it on yet because they can just open up the windows. Our house is old; it's probably not as insulated as it should be, so we have to turn ours on for a couple hours at night. But I'll take it. I don't care.
Yeah, same here. Same here. We enjoy right after work. We go straight to the backyard, hang out, play a little t-ball with the kids. It's been beautiful. I'm not looking forward to the summers. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm just enjoying this time while we can.
Yeah, no, and we got to go out and shoot some footage. Was that last week or was that 2 weeks ago, Rudy? It feels like a blur, but it just feels like everything's going on. We're actually going to be posting that video tomorrow. Rudy and I back out on scene in Scottsdale, kind of giving people a little bit of insight on Central Scottsdale. We're going to try to keep posting those type of videos. It can be challenging with our schedules, but we're going to try to keep putting it out there. So watch for that in the future. And then Rudy, let's might as well jump into some of the Cromford numbers. I think that's super helpful for people that are looking right now. Let me go and do this, and then I'm going to click on a couple things here. So if we go into the market index, we want to keep you guys posted with what's going on. So we've been in the 500s. We're dropping down to 490. Now, one of the things I saw this morning when I pulled this is we're actually getting on the demand index. That's dropping into kind of the yellow. Call it caution. Call it just like a whatever it is. Now, this actually has been pretty much right around this point for a long time. It's been in the green lately, but when this goes into this point, it just means that there's probably a little pushback from some of the buyers or people that now have been priced out. So that demand level is something to watch because we do need to keep an eye on that. But what's feeding everything continuously is this supply index, which we're still at crazy levels of low supply. Now, Rudy, you touched on a little bit of what we could see in the future with more supply. A couple things. Number one, some of the things you talked about as far as COVID loosening up, people finally are wanting or being okay with people coming through their house. But now when people are saying, look at these numbers, maybe I could make a pretty good profit on my house right now, you got to have sellers that are like, it might just be a good time to sell.
Yeah, no one knows exactly when that perfect time is. Obviously, there's no such thing. Well, very few people have been able to time the markets correctly. Yep. But this is if you're a seller, obviously, I'm not speaking to anyone that doesn't already know this, but if you're trying to profit and you're trying to, maximize your home value, this is a great time. And that's not to say that, the market's going to crash or anything like that. But if it slows down and, more and more homes are now entering the market, it could be a little bit harder for you to sell your home like it has been recently. So it's definitely, in my opinion, a good time.
Yeah, I think the difference too is, when you're potentially putting it out there in this kind of situation right now, there is more opportunity to push your list price a little bit. There is more opportunity for people to potentially bid up and over because that's just what we're seeing in certain areas. So we might start to, I've seen that a little bit in certain areas where I think people are like, hey, let's give it a shot. And we're seeing a slight tick up in listings. Now, they've been absorbed. It hasn't been like a situation where they're not selling, but you maybe get in situations where you maybe don't have to bid as high. So again, it's going to be case by case. Actually, I want to, one of the things I saw, and we'll go back to the Cromford again here. Let's see. We talked about, let me know if you're seeing this on your end, Rudy. This is just kind of some news and notes that have come up. This from April 12th. They talked about a house that was originally purchased for $825 in August 2013. It resold in 2019 for 1.287, and then was listed for a couple weeks ago for 1.5, and it got bid up to 1.7. It closed for 1.7. That's a pretty crazy increase. It's this one in Scottsdale here, 20568 North 93rd Place. This is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,000 square foot on a 9,400 square foot lot. I mean, it's in DC Ranch. It's in a beautiful area. Don't get me wrong, but like 1.7, that's a little shocking to me.
It's up there for sure. It's a little above my pay grade. I won't lie.
Yeah.
But that's what a lot of sellers are taking advantage of right now, and buyers who are flush with cash, whether they have maybe sold their homes in other parts of the country and they have that cash available to put the money down, or even just to pay for it in cash. I met with a
that was a cash deal, by the way, for anybody who's
was
wondering.
it?
Yes.
Yeah, I was talking to a builder yesterday who mostly sells homes in the $1 million up range, and this is in Dallas. And he told me that about 90% of his buyers are cash. Yeah, and that's just the reality of it.
Good for those people. I'm not one of those people, unfortunately, but good for them. But I mean, again, it speaks to what we have continued to say. If you've watched us talk about this before, I mean, you probably heard it a million times. But if you haven't, when it comes to thinking about a crash, if a lot of people are coming in and buying or paying cash for houses, I think they feel pretty confident that their money's going into the right market. Because if not, they would be financing, try to go 0% financing. These people are not just going to, they're not going to foreclose because there's no loan. And even the people that are putting like 30, 40% down, they're not going to, let their house go. So all these high prices, that's not going to create a crash in the market from basically from a home buying perspective, I don't think.
Yeah, and to your point about the amount of money down from the loan perspective too, there's a lot of skin in the game. There's not 100% financing going on here on a $1.7 million home. So there's people with some skin in the game, and rightfully so, because if we're going to try to sustain this market or to try to prevent it from something catastrophic happening, we need people to have skin in the game. And if you don't have skin in the game, then maybe buying a house in this market is not most appropriate for you. But that's one of the beauties of what happened. Unfortunately, what happened with the crash, back in 8, 9, and 10 is that lenders, mortgage companies, they've smartened up. Obviously, the government had to intervene to help with that, to prevent it from happening again, which I hope does not happen.
Yeah. No, I don't think, none of us ever want to see what happened before. Well, I know there's some people that are waiting for it, don't get me wrong. Like some people are like, hey, I'm saving my money for the real estate crash whenever it happens, and I'll pick up everything then. But so some people like that. I don't think most of us are looking for that. That causes way too much pain and suffering for too many other people. But so hopefully we won't see that. At the same time, I mean, trust me, I get that a lot of people who are being priced out, they're taking it pretty hard too. It's not an easy time for a lot of people who are trying to make a move and to try to, up and come to Arizona when they thought it was like a maybe an affordable place for them to move to, and now it's not as affordable as they thought.
Well, I think compared to the rest of or other parts of the country, it's still very affordable. There's still, prices here. Yes, they're rising. So are they in other parts of the country, but depending on where you're coming from, this is still affordable for you. And obviously that's something that is a case by case, but it's just one of those where thankfully Greg and I are here to help you, guide you, point you in the right direction so that you're prepared, because that's the biggest thing, especially if you're moving across the country. You need to be prepared not only to buy a house, but if you're selling your house in your state or wherever you're living, you need to obviously be ready and all on the same page. Yeah, no, it brings up a good point, because we've been working with somebody who is looking to move. They're coming from the Northwest. They have a house to sell. I think they would actually prefer to sell their house and then come by, pay cash down here. But in conversations,
you're putting yourself at a little bit of risk, because if you sell your house and then come down and you don't find anything right away, or you find that you're maybe not finding stuff in your budget, then you're looking for a home. So it might be best to, if you can qualify, go ahead and purchase with a loan with a decent down payment, then sell your house. Then you're securing where you're at here first, getting that done, and then you can sell your house, pay off the loan in a much easier process. So there's a lot of strategic ways to try to help make certain things happen. Sometimes the cost of doing the loan is a pretty small amount compared to if you were to try to sell, come down here, not find a house, then be renting for several months, or try to overbid on a house just because you don't have a place to live.
Yeah, and if you have enough equity in your current home, then you could even possibly take out a bridge loan on that property to help with the down payment in order for your offer here to not be contingent on the sale of your house. That's another possible strategy. Okay. Obviously, it's case by case, and it's going to depend on how much equity you have in your current home and how much you need to put down on this home to make all the numbers work. But definitely bridge loans have become more popular simply for that reason. You just don't know how fast your house is going to sell. It's probably going to sell pretty fast before you actually find a house. So it could be a possible alternative for sure.
Yeah. So lots of scenarios to go through. Definitely, like Rudy said, we're here to kind of guide you through that. And for those of you who are out there watching, I know a lot of you just kind of check in to kind of see, hear what's going on, so you're kept up. If you have any questions, jump in with us and ask anytime, or reach out after the call. We're happy to help. I'm trying to think, Rudy, obviously, again, we continue to go through kind of the same types of things. Anything else outside of just market conditions that you think would be helpful for people to know right now?
I think obviously your videos of the different neighborhoods are extremely helpful. Nothing can replace actually being here, but if there's a video out there that you guys like, or a particular neighborhood that you might have heard of that we have not covered, then please let us know, because I think that's a great first step. Of finding out what is a typical neighborhood like here, depending on where it is, and also maybe talking to you, Greg, or talking to some builders about just kind of what the market's looking like on the building side, because there's a lot of builders out there that are capping the amount of homes they can sell per week. 2,
per
3,
week
4
or per
homes
month. I mean, it's kind of gone per month, and it's hard to get into right now.
Yeah, so if you're thinking, well, I'm going to buy a new construction home because that'll be easier than competing with 50 other buyers for an existing home, you that might not be the case.
Right.
The price difference between a new home and an existing home in the Phoenix metro area is about 7% right now. That's about the spread. So, there's not a huge benefit one way or the other in buying, but it's all really based on what you can get. That's really it.
Well, and they keep pushing prices up. That's the other thing. Cromford was mentioning that there's a kind of a false narrative out there that all these increase in pricing, whether it's lumber cost or whatever, that's pushing up new home prices. That's not the case. The prices are pushing up because they're competing with resale, and resale prices are jumping up, and they're going to obviously try to make their prices a little bit more than what the resale side is at now, just to keep everything in line. So trust me, there's a lot of challenges on the new build side as far as production goes and getting stuff done, but the pricing is not being increased because of lumber.
Yeah, and then a lot of these homes are 3, 4, 5, 8 months out. I don't know the exact, each builder is different, but they're trying to forecast what this home will cost and how much they should charge and what it'll appraise at. And so it's a moving target for these builders. And I talked to a sales rep earlier this week on a home, and she said that they have one lot available in this particular community, and if the buyer's not willing to sign a contract for at least 900, she didn't even say 900, she said at least 900, we'll maybe consider accepting this offer.
Right.
And it's because the house won't be completed for 10 months. So,
Yep.
Who knows what'll happen in 10 months and if that 900 is actually a good price or not. But
Yeah.
that's just kind of the mentality. So you've got that mentality from builders. Then you've got existing homes obviously going up. You've got sellers that are trying to get top dollar. You've got buyers that are weary of what's going on. It's just this whirlwind of a situation that I don't know when it'll end or if it'll slow down. But I know that the Mortgage Bankers Association is predicting that interest rates going into the end of the year will be around. They adjusted their forecast. They said it's going to be closer to 3.7% going into the end of the year and into 2022. It'll be 3.7 going into the middle of next year. It'll be in the low fours. So
Interesting.
there's definitely a projection of higher rates into the end of this year and going into the following year.
Yeah, not surprising. So, yeah, it's and again, we're still going to have the low supply until that fix. It'll be interesting to see how that Cromford indicator, as far as if that starts trickling down. Again, we're still at record highs and even at 490. So typically, like 100 is where it's like a normal market. So we're far from that. But it'll be interesting to see over the next couple months if that starts trickling down a little bit, just to kind of see, because there is, in my mind, there has to be a little bit of slowdown, because these crazy, I mean, I just don't know how it can be sustained at the rates that it are right now, So we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the best way to sum it up. We'll have to see, and we'll just have to keep reporting on the progress and whatever progress it is. And then, at the end of the day, it's what's going to happen is what's going to happen, and we have no clue what that will be.
I could see it. I could see a little plateau. That's all. I mean, I'm just guessing, but so it's just one of those things. But we'll see as we go around. Avez checking in. Thanks for all the updated info you give us on a weekly basis. Of course. Again, appreciate you always jumping in, Avez, and saying hello. And hopefully this is helpful. So we appreciate you giving us a heads up that it's been helpful to you. So we appreciate that. Rudy, anything else? We're I know we jumped on a little late, but going on 10:30 here. Don't have any random questions popping in right now. So anything else you want to leave anybody with?
Big, huge congrats to Chris and Chinwei, who are signing on the purchase of their house here.
Yeah.
And they're relocating from California. So excited for them. Their journey started with us. How long, Greg? 8, 9, 10 months. It seems like forever ago.
Probably around September, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact date, but I was so excited for them. They're ready to move here in a few weeks. They're ready to start their lives, their journeys, their careers here, and I cannot be happier for some of the nicest people that I've met in a very long time.
100%. No, congrats to Chris and Chinwei for sure. And they had to come out here. They had to visit a little bit. I think they came out a couple times before they really started looking. And then when we started looking, we couldn't find anything right away. So it's one of those things where now I'm getting calls. Here we go. I feel like Rudy. It's one of those things where they had to shop from afar, and then we had to go out and kind of shoot videos on scene, send videos out there, make sure they were able to see the house, the neighborhood, everything out there to make a smart decision. It seems like everything worked out pretty good, and so super happy for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Rudy. Well, thank you again. Appreciate it as always. We'll let everybody go. Hope everybody out there, if you're watching right now or if you're watching later on, have a great weekend. And we'll catch you guys back here next week. Keep an eye out for Rudy and I on our Central Scottsdale video hitting tomorrow. Take care, everybody.